predicted a top 5 run for this truck. So be interesting to see if it's as good as he thinks it is. Sometimes you get fooled here at Daytona. You think you got something you can really go at them with in qualifying, and the result just isn't there. We'll see if Matt was right.
And then you scratched your head wondering why. What happened? We should have been able to run a 51:10 or whatever the case may be, and it just doesn't happen.
But just to tell you, Mike Bliss is a little over a second and a half slower than our pole sitter.
And he can win this race.
And he can win this
Absolutely.
race. Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome.
Glad you guys are in agreement.
We're always in agreement.
Very rarely do we differ in opinions. We've worked through a couple already today, however.
Matt Crafton sending that Menard Chevrolet down the backstretch for his first lap of qualifying. He has thrown the prediction out there that he thinks this truck is capable of a top 5 starting spot.
I almost think he's going to have to be second or third right now to be top 5.
I'm going to think somewhere around a 51:10 if he's going to think about being top 5, maybe even a 15, but somewhere in that vicinity.
Stays down on the bottom of the racetrack. His time as he comes across that finish line was 51.218. So he's going to have to pick it up at least a 10.
He's close now, and he can do that too. We saw Colin Brown pick up 0.08 of a second on his second lap. So if Matt can do that, then he has a good shot at a top 5.
One of those trucks that front end is sealed to the racetrack, or at least very close to being sealed to the racetrack.
Yeah, very, very good attitude on that truck. And we've talked about it through all our 3 practice sessions. That looks like how you would want a truck to look here as far as attitude-wise, with that front splitter right down on the racetrack. But we've seen trucks drive by that truck on the racetrack in practice and with 3 or 4 inches higher than that.
I love that. You've got 2 people, 2 trucks running the same speed, doing it polar opposite on as far as the setup goes. A setup is so, when we go to California, if you're running around the track with your car 3 inches off the ground, you'll go home.
Yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah.
You can't even make the race with a truck doing that at California. Here, one's just as good as the other. I don't really understand.
Matt Crafton is in the garage, and you are second on the board, but I want to talk about tomorrow night's race. And we've been having a hard time figuring out who's in what truck. There have been so many changes. That's a big part of knowing who you want to draft with. So what's it been like for you guys out on track trying to figure out what's going on?
You've had trouble. I mean, you've got a piece of paper here in front of you. You get to read the piece of paper. And we're doing 180 miles an hour. We don't have anything stuck on our dash getting to read to see what truck's in front of us. I mean, honestly, I've walked through this garage here probably 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 days. Up, back and forth, trying to figure out who's in what truck. Okay, Johnny Benson's, he's in the one truck. Okay, this guy's in this truck. You're studying trucks. And like I was telling you just a little while ago, is without the test we've had this year, it's a crew chief job to make these things as fast as they can possibly make them. But when they do that, they don't drive that well in the draft. And I'm seeing a lot of that. A lot of people are definitely having a lot more problems, and these things are a lot more out of control than they have been in the past during the race weekend. So when you have the test, you get to work on them a lot more and make them a little more comfortable for the driver. So it's going to be an interesting race tomorrow. But I think our Menard Chevy's going to be good.